Hello, welcome back to the 7th episode.
7 episodes.
7 episodes.
I think we're like
Rolling.
glorified celebrities now.
Probably the 40 views we get on these would lead you to believe that for
Yes,
sure.
they would.
This is a special edition though
Yes.
of News. So if you don't typically watch this, I hope you're watching this one because this is a special field trip edition of News.
And this is going to be an epic field trip.
Yep.
This is going to be a field trip that goes down in 6th grade history. This is going to be a field trip that they're going to be talking about for a
People
long
already are talking about
They
it.
are,
You know,
yeah.
There's the chatter, there's the buzz.
It's probably our buzz.
Yeah, but we actually did something similar to this last year, and it was awesome. It was so much fun, and it's at Union Station. Last year we did a Pompeii exhibit, but this year we're just lucky enough that they're doing something that's also related to our content, and it's they have a mummy exhibit that we're going to go to. There should be attached to this message on Skyward one of these, basically an electronic one. Your student should have one as well. We have gone over this in every class. They should be experts on it, but to kind of hit on the details without going too much into it, all the information's on here.
Why don't you give them the same spiel that you're giving the kids?
Well, okay.
Okay.
So
It is a special edition.
it is a special
And
edition.
You are doing
so,
really well at hyping it up, so go ahead.
So we are going to Union Station to go to this mummy exhibit, and so if you're familiar with these exhibits, Union Station spends a ton of money to bring this stuff in.
Yeah.
It's one of a kind. It's
World-renowned.
Absolutely, people come from different states to go to this stuff. They do one like every year. This one is just on mummies. Typically, it's pretty expensive to
Yeah.
get into. So what we're getting a huge, great deal on this. But not only are we going to go to Union Station, we're also going on December 12th. And if you're familiar with that area during the holidays, it's spectacular.
It's
I mean,
beautiful.
there are the trees, the lights, they got the trains out. It's just a really neat environment, and it'll be something really special for them to be able to experience with their classmates. So that will be really fun, but we're not stopping there. We are going to go to the planetarium as
Right.
well. That's in Union Station, and that's really neat because that also aligns perfectly with what they're studying in science.
Yeah.
So that will be just another example of something that they get to go do. That's not just
See.
in a textbook.
Right,
It is
right.
absolutely like boom in your face. Like this is what we've been talking about. I mean, you're within a foot of a mummy. You're within a foot of the different
The
theories
Big
and
Bang
videos and all that
dark
stuff.
matter. It's
and-
eerie how like close it is with
Mhm.
science too.
Yeah. So we're not even stopping at Union Station. We're doing something else too. We're going up to the Liberty Memorial, which if you're familiar with that, it's a really neat, it's like probably one of the best views of Kansas City.
It's gorgeous.
So we're going up there just so they can really experience some of the cool stuff that our city has to offer.
The skyline.
The skyline's really neat. If you're familiar with like the Royals winning the World Series a couple years ago, there's that picture of the city. So that's going to be the same view that they get. But on top of that, we're not just going to go up there and say, hey, take cool pictures. We really get into detail and talk about, why is this memorial here?
Right.
So
We're not going in the Liberty Memorial Museum. We're just going up the
We're walking
the
up
monument.
it and,
Yeah.
and all that stuff on the platform. So we'll give them a little lesson about why that thing's there and so they can appreciate that even more.
Right.
But
we're not done.
We're not stopping
Oh
there.
my
either.
gosh. So far you covered Union Station, you covered the planetarium, the Liberty Memorial. What possibly can we still do?
The last thing that we're going to do is we're going to the Crown Center Plaza, and that's really just because we can't really tie anything
Yeah.
to history. It's going to be a really cool time of year to be there,
Right.
and it'll be something really fun for them. So that's kind of just an added throw in, just to kind of say, hey guys, this is just something cool that is right in our backyard in Kansas City.
Some of our kids have never even been
Yeah,
to
so,
Crown
yeah,
Center.
and so some of our kids, the kids that have been there, they're the ones sitting there nodding their heads and whisper, "Oh,
Right.
that's really cool," and talking to their classmates about that. So that's been really fun and exciting, and it's so much fun. I remember last year just being with students that are like just
This
in
is the
awe, like
best.
this is 25 minutes away from us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So it'll be really fun, and we're doing that in one day. I mean, I think it's from 8:30 to 2:30.
Yeah, we'll leave at 8:30 and we'll be back at 2:30 p.m.
And they're gonna be tired.
Yes.
They'll be
You
tired.
can
that
thank
day.
us later.
'Cause
I
I
accept
know-
chocolate.
I'm tired of that day. I remember when we all left last year, whew.
Yeah, we
But
all
it's
sat down
so
and took
worth
a
it.
deep sigh.
Yeah,
it
so
was good.
worth
But
it.
it's worth it though. Every single minute of it, to see the kids, their expressions, and to see them like, oh, we learned that in class, and make those connections and see it, like you said, with the artifacts and the primary sources.
Priceless.
This is going to be great.
Speaking of price, though,
Yes.
it's not free. We are getting a huge reduced rate on it because we have a big group, and Union
Right.
Station they want to bring kids in to see this. So the cost per student for all of that is $13.
That's it.
Um,
That is a really good price for all of that they're going to be doing. So
And the thing we're telling the kids, and I'll tell you guys as well, if you're in the position that you want to sponsor 2 kids, maybe you have 1 kid in 6th grade and you want to pay for 2, by all means, please do that because that helps us because we always need it.
Right.
So
Right.
if you're in a position that you can do that, we do really appreciate that. And if you're not, no pressure. Or if there's any other issues, let us know. We want to make sure every student can get to go to this.
right. All the permission slips and the money is due no later than December 1st. Like that is the absolute hard deadline. We have to have all money turned into Union Station first thing Monday morning. So Friday we've got to collect all that we can. So please, 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 please make sure that you are sending in your $13 for your child. You want to talk about chaperones? Because that's a big thing.
And I know last year we had a lot of parents that wanted to come, and that's a great problem to have.
Right.
But the issue is we do have a cap on how many people we can bring total. So with all the teachers going, we need 12 parents to go. And so kind of what we're telling the kids is if you want to go, we're doing first come, first serve. Just
Right.
That's the most fair way to do it.
Also, we haven't told the kids that, but we just want to let you guys know. If you are a husband and wife, it would be a lot more fair if just one of you went so that it can open the door for another kid's parent who wanted to come too.
And I know that it's something that a lot of parents do want to experience with their kids, and that's
Yeah.
great. But just that's what we were told. So we got 12 slots for that, and it's going to be first come, first serve.
And it is $13 for you as a parent as well.
So what we're telling the students is if you want to go, they need to make sure they get their slip into us with the money paid in full. We will put you on the list. If you're the first one to do it, you're the first one to do it.
Right.
If you're the 27th one, you will get your money back, and we'll just have to say, unfortunately, we had too many people volunteer.
Right. The field trip forms are attached to the letter that's going home with your kid today, and we only need the bottom part filled out. Please, please, please write legibly down there your student's first and last name in print, your first and last name in print, as well as your signature. We cannot take these permission forms without the money. Both items have to be in, and vice versa. We can't take money without a permission form. So make sure that you get that in. All money is going to be turned into your child's social studies teacher. So if you're on Team 6-2, you're turning it into me, and if your child's on Team 6-1, they're going to turn it into Mr. Stack. The other important thing to take note of is all students have to bring a sack lunch that day, and it needs to be in a bag or something that can be easily discarded. There are absolutely no lunch boxes, please.
Yep, and so we were telling them this is also something we're going to be talking about a bunch. It is a pretty quick turnaround. We're going December 12th, and
Right.
obviously it's about, what is it, the 8th today?
Yeah.
So like a month. I mean, that's a pretty quick turnaround, so we have a lot of planning to do still. We're going to go ahead of them on the 15th, Mrs. Harrell and I, and we're going to get everything mapped out and planned. I know one thing last year is we did have this planned out really well, and there was not really a down moment for them.
Right.
So we're going to shoot for that again this year.
Kids are more than welcome to bring money
Mhm.
to go get a couple things, souvenirs or
It's not,
whatnot.
it's not a shopping trip,
Right.
but we will, there is
Allow
a
a
gift
little
shop,
time.
there's a chocolate stand that,
Yeah.
they like to go get stuff in, and so that's fun for them as well. Don't need to do that, don't have to do that,
Right.
but that's just an option.
Option.
Okay, so I think that's
So,
everything for the field
If
trip.
you guys have any questions about it, please feel free to email us, and we will do our very best to answer as many questions as we can. Like we said, this is going to be a really, really amazing experience that your child will not forget. It's not your typical run-of-the-mill field trip. This is top notch. So we encourage you to get your $13 in for your student, and if you're trying to come to get your $13 in as well as soon as possible.
Yep.
Okay.
Other than that, real quick, other items, the only homework we have this week is the Egyptian knowledge check that's due on Friday.
Right.
Those are, as you noticed, those are kind of a recurring thing. We try to give them out on Monday and have them due by Friday.
And the kids are doing so much
They
better
are.
at these, so I think that repetition is helping.
Yep. And
current project is the
For-
Hero Wanted
Well,
poster.
it was due last week. I
Right.
do have a lot missing still. A lot of kids didn't put their names on them, so if you've noticed there's a 0 on there and they're insistent that they did it, they probably did. It's just their name's not on it, so they need to come find that and get that turned in.
So speaking of those zeros, please, 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 parents, check Skyward. We are doing it on Tuesdays with each and every kid, and I know that on Wednesdays and Thursdays we're always also checking in, but just check Skyward and make sure that your kid's doing what they're supposed to be doing too. And that way, if they do need BSP or tutoring, that option is available. You know about it, we know about it. They can have Rise arrange to take them home.
Yep.
So
Other than that,
Tuesdays is tutoring and Wednesdays is BSP, and
Okay.
both are optional.
I think we're at like 11 minutes, so this
Yeah.
was a long one.
Yes.
But there's a lot of good information, so in the message I'll definitely say, wow, this was the first 8 minutes. But again, yeah,
All
any
right.
questions about the field trip, do not hesitate. Let us know. We'll help you out with that. Other than that, I think we're over
We are
and
out. Yes.
See you next time.